Okay, you're looking to build a home gym and you're like, man, I'm just special. I don't want to use what everybody else is using. A lot of people building home gyms right now, they go with two companies. They're the most popular companies, I think for good reason. It's Rogue Fitness and Rep Fitness. But a lot of you are like, Coop, give us other options and alternatives to these companies. I've got a lot today I'm gonna run through that are basically companies that make either the same thing, like in some instances, it's probably the exact same thing made in the same factories. In other instances, they're similar, cheaper, or in some instances, even better than what you could get from Rogue or Rep Fitness. Now, I've done a ton of reviews on Rogue and Rep Fitness stuff. Honestly, they're the leaders in the space right now, so it's the reason that we do reviews. We get asked about them all the time, but there are so many companies out there. If there are smaller brands you'd like to see us review more often, let me know in the comments and we'll get to it. It's one reason we're doing this is because you asked for it. Let's get into it. Hey guys, this is Coop from Garage Gym Reviews. We're gonna get into some alternatives. And I've got these categorized. I'm gonna go through like barbells, racks, plates, those sorts of things. There's gonna be some things, obviously, that is not replaceable because there are patents that these companies have that they've created moats and they're the ones that make them. But there are a lot of just general products that I think are worth looking at as alternatives to these big kind of behemoths in the market right now. And let's start with bars. I think the most obvious company for barbells that you can either go with, compare to, or look at is American Barbell. American Barbell is making some of the best barbells in the world. In fact, their tolerances have almost always been tighter than Rogue. They are a little bit more expensive, and also they don't have as many options. Generally, their knurling is a little bit less aggressive, although they do have a bar that has come out recently that was kind of a community request, known as the American Barbell Chewy Bar. If you'd like to see me do a full breakdown review on that, let me know in the comments because I'd love to. It is a more aggressive bar made in the US using very high-end componentry and at similar prices to Rogue and Rep. So that's definitely one I would look at and one that is constantly recommended when we do a barbell roundup. Another one, if you're looking for a power bar, is one of the original power bars, Buddy Cap's Texas Power Bar. They do have options now that are 29 millimeter, not just 28.5 millimeter, but fantastic bars. I prefer Rogue's and Rep's power bars because I like a 29 millimeter and I prefer their knurling, but there's so many people that are diehard Buddy Caps and Texas Power Bar fans. So that one's definitely worth looking at. The bar I use the most that I would definitely look at as an alternative to these companies is the Kabuki Strength NewGen Power Bar. Both that one and from a different company, the Gungner All-Rounder. Very different bars, very different purposes. A little bit higher price point than what you'd find from either of these companies. The Kabuki, though, has, bar none, my favorite knurling of any barbell on the market, which Rep kind of copied their knurling on their double black diamond bar. But then the Gungner All-Rounder is just a unique bar in that it has the clipping system on the collar, works really well. And then on the higher end, something that most people recognize, but it's too high end, is like an Eleiko. Fantastic bars, but they're more expensive. This video is brought to you by Element. I've been using Element for the past year or so. Element is an electrolyte sugar-free drink mix. Basically, it's salt, flavored salt that you put in your water. It tastes very good. They now have a bubbly version that tastes even better. Basically, it's a great option if you want to drink something other than sugary drinks. You want some benefits from electrolytes. Basically, the way I use Element is at the end of my day or midday when I'm starting to get tired. Basically, this is a good pick-me-up. Once I take this midday, I usually get out of the midday slump and then I'm able to keep working or training. But I've been using Element for over a year. I'm a huge fan and they now sponsor the channel. If you'd like to get your own free sample pack with any Element drink purchase, you can check out the link below, like button, go through there. It has an exclusive offer for you where you can purchase them. Also, try these. These are very good. Whether you buy them or not is your choice. It's the choice of a new generation. Then to racks. There was a time where Rogue really didn't have a lot of competitors on the rack side. You had Titan Fitness enter the game. Since then, Rep has come along and they have a lot of similar racks to Rogue now too. But then they've integrated accessories and cable systems. And that's really what has separated these two companies from, I think, a lot of the market. If you're looking for just a standard style rack or just looking for a foundation rack to build upon, it's a commodity pretty much at this point. You really are looking for a 3x3 upright with 11 gauge steel and 1-inch holes. Whether you go with like an actual 3x3 inch imperial system or 75 millimeter, 75 metric system upright, like what Rep has, and what's different about them is the welding may be a little bit better or worse between the companies, as will the powder coat and color options. Other than that, it's very similar. You're looking at, say, a Rep PR 4000, 5000, Rogue Monster, Monster Light series. Got a lot of options to go with from other companies. Bells of Steel, both their Manicore and Hydra racks. Titan Fitness, they've got their T3, but also their X3 and Titan series if you want more of like the bigger, more modular system rack. Fringe Sport actually has the Dane, which was pretty cool, as does Vesta Fitness, which they're very similar with minor changes. Either one of those, I think, are options. If you're really like, I want made in America stuff, PRX Build Limitless racks are made in America, similar geometry as those other companies. They also have their folding racks, which would be worth looking at. Force USA and Jacked Up brands, both of them are all-in-one type racks with Smith Machines, functional trainers, and a lot going on in them. So their options. Griffin Fitness is another one. The rack area is so saturated, like you can go with a lot of companies. I expect there to be some consolidation of the market sometime soon because there's just so many companies making the same thing. I don't think the market can sustain it, but for now you have a lot of options. And then Giant, like Rep has their PR 1100 series if you want a competitor to that, but one that's definitely worth looking at is the Giant Garage Gym Power Rack. Your standard of the mill weight plates, kettlebells, dumbbells, basically your slag iron. The most obvious iron comparison to say what Rogue's offering with their deep dishes, which are, they're sick. Also, Rep's equalizer plates. The most obvious one to me is Strength-Co plates. The Strength-Co plates, I will never forget them again after how you guys terrorized me in the comments with that.
Keep having this nagging feeling that I've forgotten something.
Hey, if you forgot it, it probably wasn't all that important.
Made in the USA, very well-made plate. Very close to the accuracy, and the owner, if you ever have any issue, Grant, will take care of you. You have American Barbell on the bumper plate side, which I would actually say is probably one of the closest to the higher end bumpers from like Rogue and Rep. But if you're looking for other style plates, Titan Fitness's urethane plates, which they just came out with the Easy Grip urethanes, which look very sweet. Eleiko is an obvious alternative if you want to go on higher end. A company that I think a lot of people don't know about yet, Mayhem Strength has a lot of plates. We have quite a few of them and they're very nice. So on the plate side, I'd definitely look at them. And then bumpers, you can't forget mentioning Fringe Sport. Fringe Sport's bumpers are very well made, priced very well, and warranted fantastically. Kettlebells, honestly, there's a lot of similarity, and most imported kettlebells that are gravity cast are probably from similar factories. They look the exact same. They're using very similar molds with different companies' logos on them. Rogue does have a little bit different from a lot of companies in that they have their own US foundries they use. So because they're able to have that volume, they can offer ductile iron made in the USA at incredible prices, hard to like basically beat. But other companies that are doing similar stuff, especially to Rep's kettlebells, I've noticed Giant lifting kettlebells are very similar and priced even cheaper. Definitely an alternative. Fringe Sport, and another company to watch out for kettlebells, Kettlebell Kings. They've got a ton of kettlebells. Depending on their sales times, they can be priced very similarly. Dumbbells, if you're on the fixed dumbbell side, one of the beautiful things about fixed dumbbells is they literally are a commodity. Companies aren't doing a lot of unique things in fixed dumbbells for home gyms. It's more on the adjustable side. So if you're looking for like a urethane circle round head dumbbell, your Rogue ones are going to be the same as Titans. They're going to be the same as Reps, and there's other companies as well. One thing that Rep used to offer, they still offer, but they used to be the only ones that offered it, was the straight handle knurled hex head fixed rubber dumbbell. Well, Giant Lifting now has the exact same dumbbell and it's cheaper. So something to watch out for from them if you're really wanting like that style. Functional trainers. Both of these companies, I would say more so Rep has very good functional trainers. Rogue has very good functional trainers too, but theirs, they just have their one, priced high and takes up a lot of space. But the rack functional trainers, if you want a standalone, Gronk Fitness, which we did a review on, there's another one from Blast Fitness. Their functional trainer, we have one on the way. It looks very similar to the Arcadia, the mini one, and it's priced really well and has some cool features to it and nice componentry. And then Inspire Fitness is also another one I'd look at. If you can get it at a good price point, which a lot of times you can, especially if you go to like Costco, you can get them cheaper. Benches, Rep Fitness, I would say right now is really the king of the home gym benches, but my favorite bench, it is the Ironmaster Super Bro bench, version 2. That bench is fire. I can't tell you how great that bench is. If you're looking at a bench, that's my high-end recommendation. That thing is gold, S tier. Kind of an alternative to the Rogue benches, like the heavy duty or the Blackwing benches. Titan actually makes their Titan series bench, which is a sleeper pick, priced very well and very heavy duty. Specialty bar range, this is gonna be the last category. An obvious alternative company for Rogue or Rep on the specialty bar side is Kabuki Strength. One, because Rogue makes a lot of Kabuki Strength products now, but you can buy them directly from Kabuki too. Their Transformer bar, Trap bar, their Cadillac bar, all shining achievements. Very well done. On the Trap bar side, tons of Trap bars. We've done a tier list on that if you'd like to see my full thoughts for alternatives. But one is the Giant Lifting Trap bar. That thing's really well done. There's a lot of alternatives. I'd love to hear from you other alternatives as people are looking for equipment and maybe they just don't want to go to those companies or they just want to like compare and shop. Let us know in the comments what you think are some of the best alternatives to some of Reps and Rogue's best products. Would love to hear from you. This has been Coop from Garage Gym Reviews. I'll see you next time. Peace.